Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica Jones and I am a self-care advocate helping mamas heal through motherhood, shake their guilt, and own their journey. And today I'm going to be giving you guys a 20-week pregnancy update. Here is a little bumpy bump. And technically I'm actually 22 weeks pregnant. So second trimester, 20 weeks. Let's talk about some symptoms that I have been experiencing since my first trimester. So I already have a first trimester recap, so you can go ahead and check out that video. I'll put that in the description down below if you want to look at that. I am feeling much more energetic. So my energy is back. I'm not as fatigued and tired as I was my first trimester, which feels so good. I really struggled with the extreme fatigueness in my first trimester. So I feel like I have more energy. I'm able to wake up before everybody else does, which in my morning routine, I talk about the importance of that a lot. And so being able to, I'm not at 5 a.m., not in the 5 a.m. club right now, but I am closer to like 6:30, which for me is good. Anytime I get alone in the morning is always a good time for me, just to kind of help recharge myself, take care of myself, and fill my introverted battery, so to speak. So energy back, check. Another symptom that I've been experiencing a lot more this trimester is heartburn. My first trimester, I feel like I was getting it more towards the end of the night. So if I would eat something like towards the end of the night that I knew like before I lay down, I would have to like really digest my food or take some Tums or something like that. But now I'm getting it almost after every meal. So trying to really kind of figure out like what's triggering it, and also just keeping my supplements, which I will talk about those things in a little bit here, some things that I've been using to kind of help with some of these symptoms in my second trimester. So heartburn and energy has been back for symptoms in my second trimester. I have been experiencing a lot more baby movement, which is good. It's more like flutters than actual like moving and grooving, which is expected. I mean, the baby's only a pound right now, so very, very small. But I am experiencing a couple little bit of movements here that I'm really closer to like my pelvic region, than kind of up a little bit higher. I'm also noticing that I am carrying much lower in my belly than I have with my other pregnancies. Previously, I feel like I carried higher, but I was doing some Googling and I realized that after you've had multiple kids, your abdominal muscles are really weakened, and it becomes more challenging for you to actually carry up that high unless you have really strong abdominal muscles. I most certainly do not have that. So I'm carrying the baby super low. So all my movement is happening right in my bladder region, right in my pelvic region. So baby movements is another symptom that I've been experiencing. I am growing, like my belly is growing significantly bigger. I haven't experienced like a ton of weight gain, which for me is really good. I'm not like necessarily monitoring what my weight gain is per se, but I am being kind of mindful of it. I am the heaviest I've ever been, and I just know the complications that can happen if I do start to gain an excessive amount of weight. Plus it's gonna be a lot harder for me to lose that excessive weight once baby comes and I'm ready to kind of start my postpartum journey. So I am just trying to be more mindful of that. Let me think, what else? There hasn't been anything too dramatic. I would say that my first trimester definitely was like guns a-blazing. I was experiencing every single symptom in the world. I was having a really hard time, and I think my second trimester has been really good to me, which I very much appreciate, because that first trimester wiped me out. So it feels really good just to kind of get back into some of my normal routines. It's summertime, I'm at home with my girls, and so I feel like it's really good timing as well for me to actually have that energy that I definitely need. So we are going to jump into some products and things that I have been using to kind of just help with some of the symptoms that I have been experiencing during my second trimester, and the things that I have been using to help out with them. So we'll jump into products that I have been loving in my 20-week update second trimester. Okay, so I kind of talked about heartburn being one of the symptoms that I have been experiencing a lot, and I take 2 different kind of medications to help me out with that. I've been using these guys here. They are the original papaya enzymes, the after meal supplement. So they really help with just digesting the food that you eat. You usually take these right after you eat a meal. I take about 3 of them. They're chewable little tablets, and I feel like sometimes they work a little bit better than Tums. Tums is something that you have kind of a limit on how many Tums you take, and because I'm experiencing heartburn after every meal, I'm trying not to take Tums after every meal. So these are a really great alternative to Tums. And I just noticed I probably shouldn't have worn a red bra with stuff. But we're all friends here, okay? So there you go. I have a red bra on. Surprise, surprise. But if I am taking Tums, I do love these. The chewable ones. This is a one that I got recently from Target, the orange and cream flavor, but I've also had like the fruity kind. It doesn't really matter, but I do like these better than, like, you know, the chalky chewy ones. I hate those. They make me gag. So these ones are better for me, and they taste better. So another thing that I have experienced that I've heard to talk about as far as symptoms go, I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping, and I have a couple things that have helped me with managing my sleep. The first thing is this guy behind me, the Snoogle. What is this thing called? Where's the tag at? Hold on, let me figure out. Let me find the tag on this thing. Oh, of course it didn't say. I think it's called a Snoogle. I'll put it in the box here if I can find it. So belly's getting bigger, can't sleep on my back anymore, have to get comfortable somehow. So I usually put this part like in between my legs here, and then I use this kind of as like my back support, or sometimes I'll use it as like my pillow, depends on how I'm feeling. So that has helped me a ton. And then I have been struggling with restless legs too. It's something that I've struggled with since like high school. But of course, naturally with pregnancy, not getting a ton of circulation in certain areas of my body, the restless leg syndrome is kicking up again, of course. So I have been taking calcium, magnesium, and this is something that my midwife had suggested because I realized in my prenatal, which I love, the Ritual Prenatal, love this. I talked about this in my first trimester recap. You can check out all the benefits in that video there. But the reason why I started taking calcium magnesium is because there is no magnesium in the Ritual Prenatal, and there isn't any calcium, which kind of surprised me because I felt like those are 2 things that should just be in your prenatal, but they're not. So in order for me to get those supplements, I need to take additional supplement to get those things inside of my body. Magnesium helps with sleep, and calcium obviously just helps with, you know, your bone health and whatnot. So I got the liquid form because my midwife has suggested getting that instead of getting a pill form because it absorbs into your system better. So I got this from the Vitamin Shop, and I really like it. It's a strawberry flavor, which actually doesn't taste too bad. It like hits you and then it's like kind of sour at the end, and I take a tablespoon of it every night before I go to bed. Another thing that's been helping me go to bed at night is a couple of tinctures. And it's the passion flower tincture, and this helps with your nervous system, and helps calming and relaxing. So this is not a medication. Okay, this is not antidepressants. This is not this is not an anxiety medication. This is nothing of that nature. It is just a liquid extract from passion flower that has natural properties in it that kind of helps calm your nervous system down. So that is all that it is. And this is something that my midwife had recommended to me. And so I was like, sure, we'll give it a try again. And it has helped. And Skull Cap, which is new for me, has helped me with my insomnia. So waking up in the middle of the night for 2 to 3 hours every night has been kind of routine for me lately. And so a few weeks ago, I just started taking the Skull Cap, and I would say it has helped me get back to sleep faster. It has not stopped the insomnia from happening. So I either take this before I go to bed, or I take this when I'm waking up in the middle of the night. It kind of depends on, I guess, if I remember or not, so to speak. So there's no really no rhyme or reason why I'm doing it in any particular order. But I will say, this is disgusting. All of them are not, like, they're both gross. Okay, this tastes like grass. And I don't even know what this just tastes like, because I usually mix these two together. But there's something in this one that is just so potent that I'm just like, you mix it with water, and then you have to have a chaser afterwards, because it's disgusting. It's not good, but it's good for you, okay? Those are the things I've been using to get me to sleep, stay to sleep, and get somewhat decent quality sleep. Another one that I've been taking, and yeah, I'll talk about it, and then I'm going to talk about it again here in a second, okay? Another one I've been taking is this Hawthorne blend. And this is for cardio and circulatorial system restoration. So this is something that my midwife recommended because I had an elevated blood pressure during one of my visits. And so this was supposed to help me with that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit. But we're going to go into some things that have been helping my belly. I have been having itchy belly. I'm not concerned about stretch marks. I'm going to tell you that right now. So if you're looking for like some stretch marks, ideas, etc., I'm not your girl. I have stretch marks, okay? I have 2 kids already, and stretch marks are genetic. So you're either going to get them or you're not going to get them. And I got them because my mom has them, and my grandma has them, and everyone else in my family has them. So I'm not really in the business of trying to figure out how to eliminate stretch marks. I'm like, bring it on. It is what it is. But I don't want an itchy belly. My belly is stretching and it's itchy. So here are the 2 products that I've been loving to kind of help me with my itchy belly. So the Summer Fridays, what's this called? Baby Moon Belly Balm. And this is kind of an interesting texture. It's very moisturizing, but the texture of it is not what I expected. It's not a lotion, it's not a cream, it's not a butter, it's a balm. And when I think about balm, I didn't think that this would be the texture, if that makes any sense. It's almost like petroleum jelly, but not as creamy and oily, if that makes any sense. I like it. It has no scent to it whatsoever, but it does help with moisturizing my skin. Now, because I just love oils in general, I am also using the Burt's Bees body oil with vitamin E. I really like to layer this on top of after I use the belly balm, and I feel like that those 2 together really moisturize my skin, and then I don't have any issues with an itchy belly. So that's a huge bonus for me. And 2 other things that, one thing, I don't have my phone next to me. Oh, I do have my phone next to me. An app that I've been using, I have 2 apps that I use kind of for pregnancy. So I use the Flo app, which I actually do enjoy just for women's health. I was using it for my period as well to help track that. And then if you use that app and use it for your period, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm pregnant, it automatically goes into pregnancy mode, and it automatically gives you all the things that you need to know about every single week of your pregnancy, which I thought was really cool. It was one less thing for me to have to like download or whatever. So this is the app Like I said, I'm 22 weeks. Actually, I'm almost 23 weeks. I just didn't realize that. But I love it because it goes through like what your pregnancy is today, what you should expect, and different little tips and tricks. There's the community. There's all kinds of fun things in there. But I really just use it just to kind of keep track of like, how many weeks am I? The other app that I love to use is Expectful. So I do like to meditate. I try to meditate at least once a day for 10 minutes a day. And the Expectful app is really great for meditation while you're pregnant. And I really think that's important, especially for me, someone who is looking to do an unmedicated vaginal birth. Having a sense of just calm, having a sense of just being inward with myself, being still, being aware, having that connection time with baby is just so special for me. And so anytime I get a chance to do that, is really special and really important. So they go through every week, and they have a special meditation for that particular week. They have other options too that you can cruise through if you don't want to do the week of that you are in your pregnancy. But I'm really enjoying it so far. So that is something else that I have been using that I've been loving. Okay, I'm so out of breath. And this is another symptom, right? Just like severely out of breath. Like I'm not even doing anything. I'm just sitting here talking and I'm just like, anyways, okay. Another thing, update that I want to share with you is, sorry, I'm having a really hard time with this one, and it's almost one of those things like I can't believe it's actually happening. Like every day I feel like I'm trying to convince myself that it's not happening, but no girl, it's happening. So like get comfortable with this new plan. So here's the story. At my 20-week appointment, I had an elevated blood pressure. Like I talked about when I said my midwife had suggested me taking that Hawthorne tincture, and at the time she was like, it might be just because maybe you're kind of stressed out. We were talking about an experience that I had with my previous birth center, and so it was a very kind of a stressful conversation. And then she took my blood pressure, so she's like, this might just kind of be a one-off situation. And I never had any issues with my blood pressure prior to this visit, okay? In my entire life, never had blood pressure issues. And so she said, okay, well, this might be a one-off thing. But then she put a little bug in my ear and she told me that, one, we need to get on these tinctures. We need to get some meditation in you. We need to get some daily movement in you. Let's create a plan so that, we can kind of combat what's happening with your blood pressure. She also told me that if I come back in a week and my blood pressure is still elevated, we might have to talk about other plans for your care and birth. Okay. So I left the birth center and I was like, okay, this is different. Everything has been smooth sailing, mind you, like from the beginning of my pregnancy. I mean, as far as like real major issues, okay? I've had both of my babies at birth centers. I've had amazing experiences during my prenatal experience, a little bumpy my second one, but not really a big deal. And I've had amazing births. I've had unmedicated vaginal births with both of my babies. I hold labor in particular in a very sacred part of my heart, okay? I love giving birth. And I know that may sound like a very unicorn opinion, but I really genuinely do. It brings out a part of me that is so primal and so instinctual and so beautiful and euphoric and amazing and just an incredible journey and experience. And I've done it twice and they've both been amazing. And of course, I want to do it again. And so just the thought process of it might not happening again the way that I plan just sent me over the moon, okay? So I had my week. I was like, okay, let's get moving. Because I'm not doing the hospital thing. I'm going to the birth center. We're going to continue going where I'm going. It's not going to be a big deal. Let's get all the things we need to get done, okay? So I was waking up. I was moving my body. I was meditating. I was taking all my tinctures. I was doing all the things, okay? I go to my appointment, last Thursday. And like the really hard part about blood pressure is I feel like it does go up naturally when you're stressed, okay? So it is kind of hard to determine if your blood pressure is high because of what's happening in your body, or is your blood pressure high because you're stressed, right? And I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how that works, okay? But I went to the appointment alone, which was also really hard. And I was so nervous. Like, I was so nervous, so stressed out. I'm like, please, 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 let my blood pressure be fine so I can continue my experience here at the birth center. She took my blood pressure the first time and it was elevated. And I knew as soon as she took it and she didn't say anything and she was like, okay, let's try the other arm. I already knew. I knew it was over at that point, but I was like, okay, just calm down. Let's count to 10. Let's try to calm your body down. I'm like, girl, this is not gonna work. Like, I'm already like over here. Like, I'm not gonna be able to bring it down. It's far gone. So she took it again and it was elevated, and then she started just like talking to me about gestational hypertension, what that means, the effects that it can have on myself. She said words like stroke and baby not developing properly. I mean, it was like, and it wasn't like bad bedside manners, okay? She was very kind and very gentle to me and telling me that information. And actually, like, I really appreciated the way that she communicated to me. So I don't want you to think that she was just being nasty and be like, yeah, so here's a scoop on this, blah, blah, blah. No, it was very thoughtful. And she had a lot of empathy for me, and I really appreciated that because I really needed that. And let me tell you, as soon as she started talking, the tears, like, they just started flowing, and I had my mask on, and then I felt like I couldn't breathe. So I started hyperventilating, you know, the cough, your laugh, or the cry when you're just like I was like that, because I knew that was the end of my journey with the birth center. And like, it still makes me tear up because, like I said, I've had just amazing experiences. Sorry. I've had amazing experiences at birth centers, and I also understand that at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for me, and I have to do what's best for baby. And whatever that looks like, that's what I have to do to make sure that I have a healthy me and a healthy baby. And so, you know, she kind of walked me through the process and told me, you know, who she recommended. And, you know, the last hope was that she would have been able to, or the team was still would have been able to assist me at birth at a hospital that they are assisting births at. But unfortunately, the care was not going to be able to maintain because the amount of care that I need at this point, having gestational hypertension, is not something that the birth center can provide. And so I found a hospital. I'm telling you, I cannot believe that this is happening. Like, I think the closer and closer I get to birth, the more freaked out I think I'm going to get. I think I'm also hoping that me knowing earlier on will help me be able to plan and prepare mentally for what that's going to look like. But I did find a hospital, and honestly, I think it's probably one of the best hospitals that I can go to that is going to support the type of birth that I'm looking for, which is really an unmedicated vaginal birth where I can just birth the way that I want to without having any interventions and not having 1,000 nurses checking on me every 2 seconds, not having monitors and IVs and all this stuff checked. I don't want any of that stuff. Like, I want to just do my thing and let my body do what I know it's capable of doing for as long as I can. So that's the update. Kind of a long story, but I wanted to share that because it's part of my journey right now. Yeah, that's it. That's my 20-week update. Oh, I'm gonna show you a little bump shot because why not? This is me. I'm gonna move this here quick so you guys can actually see me here. Okay, 22, almost 23 weeks pregnant. Got my lovely, what do you call these things? Maternity leggings. Oh my god. And this is what the belly looks like. It's from the front. See, stretch marks galore. Now I got that line too now. This is from the side. Side action. So yeah, she's getting big. And like I said, she's hanging super duper low. Like this is low. Very low for me. Versus babies usually like up here. Now it's low. So yeah, there you go. There's the bump. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and let me know if you guys have any comments, if maybe you've experienced a similar situation where you had a pregnancy plan, you had a birth plan, and things just went far left. I would love to chat with you in the comments so we all can feel less alone in this pregnancy journey. So I'll talk to you in another video. Bye.